Hello everyone on stream and welcome. Today I'll be casting the Division D East Church of Murky versus Full Metal Jackets, or Jacket rather, singular. And the teams have chosen their map picks and their map bans. The Church of Murky picked heads, and unfortunately it was tails, so Full Metal Jacket got to choose what they want to start with, and they chose first pick. So Church of Murky has chosen Volskaya Foundry. The maps that are banned are Brex's Holdout and Alterac Pass, while the also Battlefield of Eternity and Cursed Hollow. Let me just fix some of that graphic on screen. There we go. So now I'm just waiting on the invite. All right, now we've got a lobby. I'm just waiting for them to get the teams in here, and then we will begin the show. It's going to be a fun game. I'm hyped up. I'm pretty excited. This is my first game to cast, like officially, with NGS. So that'll be quite an experience. Thank you for joining me. Looks like all the team members are here, just waiting for them to all ready up, and then we will get the show on the road. So on the left side, Church of Murky, we have Redbeard playing, Big Gully, Orion, J-Show, and Shock. For the right team, which is Full Metal Jackets, we've got Juggerob, Barber, Runtime Logic, Souza, and Sergeant Scoops. Looks like there are a few other games going on with NGS tonight, like just a couple more lobbies starting up. Hello and welcome everybody on stream. Looks like a pretty busy night, actually, for all the games. If you look at the NGS schedule, there are so many games scheduled for tonight. So, good night. teams are still discussing who's their captain and who's going to be doing the banning. Looks like Team 2, Full Metal Jacket, the captain is Jaggerob, who schedules matches and practices, but he's asking that Barber be appointed captain for the game. Hi, Night Night. How are you doing? Right, we are waiting for someone called Rob. Oh, as in Jugger Rob? I guess his name is actually Rob. Yeah. Looks like we're good to go. Everybody's ready. The team Church of Murky has chosen Volsky Foundry. So here we are. So I've played against Full Metal Jackets once before. I'm on the team Kael'thas Can't Spell, so also Division D East. And we've played them week 1 in the first round. So, from my experience personally, I'm guessing that they might be going for a really like a blow-up kind of comp, but that's just my guess so far. Looks like the Greymane ban is out. The camps are really important on this map, like those turrets make a huge difference, so that is probably a good ban if you're not going to pick up Greymane, because he can solo them and, you know, sort of wreck them really fast. Don't even need to send 2 people to do the camps, just him. The Zul ban comes out, even though he has been nerfed a lot. He is still pretty strong. Like if you look at win rates... Oh, hey Crash! Oh, my game capture is broken. Sorry. Give me a moment. Unfortunately, my game capture is being funky right now, so I have to fix that. Just to keep you up to date on what's going on, Li Ming was just chosen as first pick by Runtime Logic from Full Metal Jackets, and in response, Church of Murky has picked Kael'thas. They still have one more pick to go. The bans were Greymane and Deathwing on the right side, and Zul and Johanna on the left side.
For the Alliance above all!
I apologize for those technical difficulties. We are back. We are still in draft. Although it looks like Full Metal Jacket now has their full comp. Blaze, Imperious, Anduin for their healer on Sergeant Scoops, Vala, and Li Ming. That is a pretty familiar comp. They do tend to play a lot of Blaze, I believe. For Church of Murky, they've got Kael'thas, Sylvanas, Whitemane, Nubarak, and they're probably choosing their offlaner right now. And it's Yrel. Yrel is really powerful, so I'm going to be looking forward to seeing her versus Imperious. I'm guessing Imperious is going to be the solo laner here. Thanks, Crush, for the help. I don't know why that happens sometimes. It just, like, hero stops working. The hero's capture, I mean. And the game is about to start. I'm so excited! Good luck to both teams. So, looks like the Full Metal Jacket team has a little Zergling Carbot animation, while Church of Murky has a Murky one. It's very cute. They're actually both very cute. And the game is loaded and ready.
Commence combat preparations.
And here we go. Let me introduce the teams again. On the left side, we've got Church of Murky, the blue team, with Orion on Sylvanas. Big Gully is on Whitemane. Shock is on Anubrak. Redbeard is on Yrel. And Jaysho is on Kael'thas. For the red team, which is the right side, we've got Juggerab on Blaze, Runtime Logic on Ming, Sergeant Scoops on Anduin, Souza on Vala, and Barber on the Imperious. Both teams seem to be heading to mid. Maybe a little skirmish is coming. They're just running around. It's pretty funny to watch. And the minion waves are out. This is where it gets fun. Redbeard's looking for an opportunity in here to push somebody into his team. But that did not happen, so he pushed them away. Jaysho being a bit forward here. Sylvanas has already broken off to the top lane, and Yrel and Imperious have both broken off into the bottom lane. Looks like the 4-man rotation is starting to get going. Little skirmish here that took a good chunk out of Shok and Jaysho's health, but the red team is still a little behind on soaking that top lane, and now they're going back to mid. They missed a couple of experience globes, being a little later on that rotation. And it is 1 minute and 15 seconds into the game when both teams have gone for their camps. On the left side, it's Whitemane and Orion. Oh, oops, and Sylvanas. And on the right side, we've got Sergeant Scoops and Souza, with Barber coming in to help defend since it looks like the blue team is invading. Now this is very interesting, a very early invade. Wonder how it will go. Redbeard actually managed to take that turret and put it down at the same time, so completely wasted the red team's opportunity to use that turret. Just a good job by Yrel. She was saving that jump for the right time. Now they're back to their 4-man rotations, and the red team is currently clearing out the mid lane, and blue team has moved on to the top lane. They left a couple of minions there, and they're rotating back to mid lane. In the solo lane, we've got Redbeard and Barber. A little bit of a competition going on. Redbeard has less health, but they've still got a ton of mana, so looks like she can fill herself up whenever she wants to. Now she's rotated into the mid lane. Unfortunately, she could not catch that Vala, who vaulted away too fast. And the objective is coming up. Hey Valkamer, what are you bragging about? Looks like Orion is waiting for the right moment to take that camp, while the red team is actually on the camp and taking it right now. There we go, Sylvanas is standing on it.
Take control of it to pilot the mech.
Redbeard for the blue team on Urel is already on the point, waiting, I guess, for the red team to show up. 2 camps were taken at approximately the same time, the blue one just a little later. But the red team has decided to go up and eliminate the blue camp because the red one has already sort of died. There's only just one Merc left with a tiny bit of health. All right. Alright, I gotta learn to move this screen slower. Ooh, brave red team. They're going for that healing camp. So much damage going out. Souza's got the bomb, he runs out and does not infect his team. But it looks overall like the blue team is a little healthier, although they suddenly all go down. And Vala secures that Anubrak kill for her team. Now that the blue team has gotten the tree glove, though, they're doing some damage to the red team. The tree glove went to the top lane, which I think makes a lot of sense because that is where the next tree glove will be. And usually the goal there is to help yourself secure the next tree glove. Oh no, it still says test stream? I'm sorry. I better fix that.
I must say, our engineers have made good progress with them.
Oh, I really don't want to stop though. I don't want to switch because if I alt tab, you guys won't be able to see the game anymore. So Sylvanas is going for that siege camp again. Not siege camp, sorry, the turret camp, which is great. She's doing it in a timely manner, but the red team is looking to invade, and they managed to get her off of it. Of course, Anubrak shows up, but it's too late. Is he about to die for that? Yes. But it's a 1-for-1, so Souza died as well. That was a 5v2 at the beginning, and then a 5v4, so it's actually really impressive that the blue team managed to get that kill. Vala might have been a little forward. Looks like the red team is now going for their own turret. So now they've got 2 turrets for the next one. The blue team did not manage to kill the well with their tree glove last time. So the red team is now in a good position to defend the next one. When the tree glove comes up to the top here, then they will have 2 turrets to help them. And still have the well. Looks like a little skirmish is going on in the top lane. The red team has Li Ming, who can do some really good siege damage from afar, like with her orbs. She can take down that little tower in the top left, which is most advantageous for them to get before the tree glove comes up, so that, you know, when they chase someone in this direction, like I think you can see my mouse, yep, when they chase someone in this direction, they don't run into a tower. Going over to mid lane, the skirmish continues. The red team has begun on their siege camp, whereas Sylvanas already got it and captured it, and in fact that siege camp has gotten to that lane. So red team might be a little slow on that siege camp. They abandoned it completely and have decided to defend top instead. They're heading that way. That was a well-timed siege camp by Sylvanas, sort of pushing that team to delay taking theirs. An ult used by KT to get that well. So they did manage to secure that well before the objective, but that's really good for them. Imperius is coming up. He still has a turret to help his team with. Mubarak does a little posturing here and drives Imperius away, but no damage done. Urel is on the point, while the red team is trying to get this healing camp. It would be very interesting. They got it, and the blue team did not contest, which was rather surprising. But when you think of it, the red team is a whole level ahead, and they're about to hit their 13s now. So that will give them a significant advantage. I will fix the stream title after this match. I apologize for that. The blue team had to run off. Of course, it's difficult to contest when the enemy team has 2 turrets, a healing whatever that's called, healing thingy, and a tier advantage. But in response, the blue team is doing what they can and grabbing the red team's turret. Thanks, Valcomer. Thank you for watching. And hello again, everybody on stream. If you're around, say hi. Okay, it looks like that fight has finally come. Ooh, wow. That Anubarak died very fast. The blue team is fighting here a tier down, so it is pretty rough for them. And another hero goes down, unfortunately, to Eming. So Sylvanas and Anubrak are both down now, so that's, that'll take a good chunk out of their ability to defend. Since Kael'thas is not really a single target kind of hero, he does a lot of AoE damage, with spreading bomb and everything, but this is going to be hard for them to defend. And, of course, they lose that top 4. So if I'm guessing, I would guess that the Triglav will now go to bottom lane for the next objective, which is where the next Triglav will be. Nope, it does not look like that is what they're doing. They are going straight. Nope, they got that tower, and now they're going bot. Well, that's smart. They didn't lose too much health for it. So the red team's doing a good job taking advantage of that Triglav. Ooh, Urel is so low. Is she about to die? Oh no, that jump failed. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Well, good try, nice try, Urel. And they still did not get that well. Doesn't look like they were aiming for it though.
We'll make adjustments accordingly.
Alright, so now both teams have 0 turrets, 0 healing. What is that thing called? Good God! Beacon? Yes, healing beacon. That's the one. Let's take a look at their talents. Alright. Right now, the blue team is down 2 levels and a talent tier. So this is really rough for them to contest. Looks like they back off with no damage done to them, so that's good for them. The red team is, of course, going to take full advantage of their level lead, heading up to the healing beacon. And, of course, they will probably get that uncontested. The team is thinking about it. There are 4 of them here. Ooh! Did Urel manage to get it? Oh, no. No. Unfortunately, Urel was killed on that spot, and now Whitemane seems to be in danger as well. But the red team has stopped chasing, so Whitemane gets away. In the meantime, in the bottom lane, there is some decent pressure here from the red team on that bottom fort, and looks like Anubarak is going there to clear it out. Now the red team can safely get their own turret, and again, for next Triglav, they will have 2 turrets and the healing beacon. So that gives them a significant advantage. Up in the top lane, Sylvanas is trying to protect those that siege camp, push it in as much as possible to get some value. The red team seems to be mainly focused on rotating. Not sure why the blue team seems to be picking a fight here, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're just trying to soak as well as they can. Unfortunately, those top mercs did not get any value as Imperius managed to kill them all. Blue team finally got their 16s, and they are now itching to get some value. So they're going for that bottom fort, doing a great job at getting that well, hopefully to help them with the tree glove. And they really probably should finish that turret off, or that tower off rather, if they can. But they've withdrawn, so looks like they are probably going top to kill those mercs. This gives the red team an opportunity to grab that tree glove if they want, but instead they're doing something much braver, which is go for that fort, or at least the well. Now they're backing off and heading back to the tree glove. Blue team is trying to get their own turret to match the red team's. Of course, they won't have 2 turrets and a healing beacon, but it's better to have 1 turret than nothing at all. Crush says, Church of Murky is having a tough time countering the brutal frontal assault from the Blaze/Imperius. Yeah, I think that's true. The Blaze and Imperius combo is really doing a lot of work here. Blue team, alright, there's a big fight going on. Several ults have gone down. Blue Urel has just used her ult to absorb the damage that's she's getting. Red team has used both a turret and a healing beacon. Actually, both turrets have been used. So this is probably a good move from the blue team that they baited that outside of the... Oh no, never mind. I take that back. Unfortunately, Whitemane had to back, and the rest of her team stayed forward. So unfortunately they died for that. Now the red team can easily grab this fort and the point at the same time.
Red team has destroyed the fort.
They're all still full health, full mana. I mean, Barber is a little down, but he's Imperious, so he'll be fine. He has gone off to soak mid lane, obviously trying to get to 20 first, which, I mean, unless some miracle happens right now, they definitely will.
Blue team has taken control.
Alright, that tree glove is moving against the bottom keep. How far do you guys think it will go? Ooh, well, that was very easy for the tree glove, almost having taken no damage, but it still managed to get that tower. Alright, let's see if they can get that keep. I think they can. I mean, we're 16 minutes into the game, they're level 20. Well, they decide not to push that advantage. They're backing out. The blue team is pursuing pretty hard, considering they're down a fort there, so there's nothing to protect them. Looks like the tree glove was just waiting for Imperius to be able to clear those lanes and join the team. Tree glove is almost over, but Blaze is trying to get as much damage onto the enemy team as he can with it before it expires. Will the red team push forward here? Looks like they're considering it. And they back off to get that turret camp. Looks like they're going to go for that same strategy they had before, where they get the 2 turret camps and the healing beacon before the blue team can get them. The blue team is playing pretty defensively at this point, of course, because they need to get to 20. So they're grabbing their siege camp, while the red team goes for the healing beacon. That wombo combo of the Blaze Slows and the Imperious Stuns with the Ming and the Vala is just really frustrating, or not frustrating, but like really difficult to counter for the blue team right now. So they're dying very fast. The level advantage also makes it difficult to compete. Alright, blue team is pushing up top. Brave approach. They unfortunately have to back off, as does the Sylvanas when she sees the team coming her way. Red team is probably looking to fight right now or get a pick. So they've gone mid. I'm surprised they haven't taken that mid fort. They probably just don't need it, so that's why they're not trying to take it. Because they can probably end bottom if they get another tree cloud or top. The blue team is a little far out right now into that mid lane. That Anubrak is in a bit of danger if the team decides to turn on him. But instead, they turn on Yrel. Oh, and that Imperious stun. Yrel manages to escape with her Q. Is that Q? I think it's her. No, that's not Q, sorry, that's her E. Blue team is going to finish off that fort. Now that they have their 20s, they're on more even footing, even though they're still behind a level and a half, but it's not as big a deal when it's not the heroic storm talent tier. Red team is taking quite a bit of damage, but they're putting in more damage into the blue team, and Yrel goes down. That Ming Vala combo is really, really harsh. Looks like Vala went the multi-shot build, while Ming went for Calamity.
It's done. Control the terminal and bring in the protector.
So the next tree glove is in the middle. The red team has their healer standing on it because it looks like they're not taking significant enough damage to be too worried about that. Usually you'd put like your bruiser or something on it, so, you know, because you might need the heals in a team fight while you're pushing like they are right now. But the blue team is not pushing back because they are down 4v5. It would be fairly difficult for them to do so. Oh, and KT gets caught out into that Vala stun. Alright, and the team is chasing. Oh my goodness. Nobrak dies, unfortunately. Sylvanas and... oh!
Flame.
Sylvanas and Whitemane both go down. KT did get out though. And Yrel is trying. Nope.
Flame.
This looks like GG to me. They're not even trying for the tree glove at this point. They can probably just end. Juggerab is low on health, but they've still got their healer with them. And the healer has full health and full mana, almost. So they got this. Or going down fairly fast. They've got the 2 turrets, which they just used on core. And KT has to back off. And that was it. GG, everyone. Both sides played really well, and we'll see you in the next game. For now, I'm going to go fix the title of my stream. So just give me a moment. I am now communicating with the captain of full... Oh, crap. Sorry, that's the wrong team. Okay, looks like we have our next map. It is Infernal Shrines. The losing team gets to choose whether they want first pick or map pick. And it seems like they chose first pick. I'm just confirming with the team. Okay, looks like we're just about ready to start the second game in this series. This best of 3. So, Church of Murky needs to pull off a win here to be able to stay in the game and have a third game against Full Meta Jackets. So, tell me, what did you think of the first game? Chat is a little dead right now. Okay, so Team 2 has first pick, which means that Team 1, the losing team from last game, chose the map. So they chose Infernal Shrines. They decided they want the map rather than first pick. So Team 2 still gets the first pick this round, which is what they had last time as well. Just waiting on Church of Murky to get ready. Okay, here we go. This map will be significantly different from the last map because in addition to having those team fights on the shrines, there's also a lot of it where it's wave clear, basically, because you need to kill 40 of those tiny little minions. So the stronger the team is at wave clear and killing the the 10 that spawn together really fast, I think that'll make it easier for them to get that shrine. Looks like we have another Greymane ban. I wonder if that's a targeted ban for someone on the Church of Murky team. I'm having some coffee. In the meantime, decaf. Okay, we've got a Blaze ban. Well, they've learned from the first match. They do not want to deal with that Blaze, who was actually very strong in the first match. So, you know, they're trying to take away from the Full Meta Jackets comp, like their structure, I guess, the blow-up comp that they're trying. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next ban will be. Deathwing again. Alright, so the Full Meta Jackets seem to stick with their original plan. I wonder if the blue team is now going to let Zool through. That will be very interesting. I wonder if there's a Zool player on the red team. Zool has been nerfed to... Nope, he's gone. He's been nerfed several times, but he's still very strong. He still has like a 56% win rate or something. It's crazy. I really enjoy playing Zool, so it sort of sucks right now that I cannot play him in competitive or in what's it called, ranked.
The crusade calls.
And Joe is the first pick for the red team. Joe is a very strong tank, especially on this map. She has great wave clear, a great way to bring all the minions together so that somebody like a Jaina or a Vala can just like burst them all down. Looks like the blue team is going again with their Kel'Thas pick. FMJ is team 2 and Com is team 1. Night night. Crush says, I think Church of Murky had a decent counter burst comp, but they couldn't quite turn it around for damaging a Full Meta Jacket. We see another, the Vala picked again by Full Meta Jacket. And Anduin. Oh, this is looking very similar, except instead of Blaze, we've got Johanna. Yeah, Team 2 is the team on the right, which is Full Meta Jacket, and Team 1 is the team on the left, which is Church of Murky. Thank you. That is my very nice husband, who brought me some tea. Yes, Church of Murky decided, who lost the last game, decided they wanted the map, and they picked Infernal Shrines, so automatically Full Meta Jackets gets the first pick. We are currently on the second round of bans. Church of Murky has also banned Imperious there, so they're like really determined to not have that to deal with that combo again of Blaze Imperious, which was very strong on Full Meta Jacket's side. And it looks like there's also a ban for Sylvanas from Full Meta Jacket, which was played last game by Church of Murky. Except this time, I think she's very strong with the Punisher as well, because the Punisher tends to sort of drive the heroes away, so Sylvanas would be able to push pretty hard and disable those forts. Crush thinks Full Meta Jacket is going for Cho'Gall. Oh goodness, that would be very interesting. I don't know why that would be clearly. I don't think they're going for Cho'Gall. That would be very strange. Nope, they are not. Ragnaros Tassadar. Well, Ragnaros is a very strong offlaner, so I think especially on this map where you can just, send that lava wave and hurt everything in its path. So that's a really good pick on their side. All right, what comes now? I think it should be like a Boozer from Redbeard here, an offlaner. And we get Sonya. I love Sonya. She is a very strong player. She's a very strong character. She needs some support from her team, but at some point, if you get enough of an advantage, she becomes really rather unkillable. And here we go, match number 2. Good luck to both teams. So how are you all doing with the corona stuff? Are you staying at home? being safe. I've been stuck at home for like a month and a half since March 2nd. Oh my god, that's 2 months and a half. Holy crap. I can't count. Here we go.
The battle begins in
Alright, let me introduce the teams. On the left side, we've got Church of Murky. We have Redbeard on the Sonya. We've got Orion on Lunara. We have Shock on ETC. We've got Begully on Anna, their healer. And we've got Jaysho on KT again. On the right side, we've got Full Meta Jackets. Juggerab is on the Johanna, I believe. And yes, he is. And Runtime Logic is on the Tassadar. Souza's on the Vala again. Sergeant Scoops is playing the Anduin, and Barber is the Ragnaros offlaner. Looks like a bit of a skirmish here. Sonya going in pretty forward. The blue team manages to clear that wave a little faster than the red team, and they can now rotate safely. But they still took a little bit of time to get that rotation started, and the red team has already sort of moved towards the bottom lane. In the top lane, Ragnaros is pushing against that Sonya, and he seems to be going mid lane to capture that XP. The 4-man is pushing bot on both teams. And once again, the blue team has... Oh, no, they haven't. They left that one tiny minion. I was going to say they cleared it faster, but they did not. They left that one minion. Hey, Figdable. How's it going? Yeah, I'd love to see a third game, so I would really like to see a third game. This couple of teams are doing pretty well, and it's really fun to watch. The red team has already started on that siege camp bottom. Oh, well actually they capped the complete bottom one, and then the bottom right one there is what they're doing right now, getting some lane pressure on the bottom lane. Blue team has yet to start their siege camp, so I'm wondering if the red team is going to try to invade it. Ragnaros is doing a pretty decent job soaking both mid and bot. Mid and top. Kael'thas went to mid lane to deal with those mercs. And Choke here is doing what tanks do best, which is give their team vision and, try to limit that rotation to make sure that the team members on this siege camp right here are not going to get surprised by an invade. Sonya's clearing that top wave, while Ragnaros and Runtime Logic, or Tassadar, got that camp. The blue team is still working on their camp. They recently just started it. Orion is looking a little low on mana, so I'm wondering if he's going to sip or go home before they attempt to go to the shrine. That'll be interesting to see. The blue team did time their siege camp pretty well, so that the red team now has to deal with it at mid. They managed to kill it fairly quickly, but they're also going to have to deal with that top camp, which with 4 of them there is really not that difficult. The red team playing a little passively right now because they do not have their 5th. Ragnaros was bottom lane, now seems to be going to mid. I'm not sure if he's going to go all the way to top though. Whereas the blue team has everybody up top. Red team now has to deal with that camp before they can really contest. And it doesn't look like Ragnaros is going to be joining them. He went back to bottom lane, trying to get that XP advantage. And it looks like it's working. They're already at 7, while the blue team has not reached their 7 yet. Kael'thas misses, but that bomb is always painful. Blue team is doing well. They've just got one more minion to kill, and they get it. They've got that protector. Or, what's it called? Punisher, yes. A Mortar Punisher. Blue team is pushing pretty hard. Johanna managed to bait that Mortar Punisher in without the rest of the team taking damage, so she did a great job there. Blue team got a little bit of value here where they have almost completely gotten that wall. That little tower left, only has a bit of health left. And I'm guessing once the red team rotates away at some point, somebody will just come up and kill it. Ragnaros seems to be going back mid? I would guess he's going top. Yes, there he goes. Is it time for some camps? Looks like the red team says yes. The blue team's camp isn't up yet because they were very late in taking it, but they've got like 23 seconds until it's ready. Here comes the invade. Oh, nice. All 5 of the blue team are here, whereas Ragnaros is still soaking to get his team to 10. So we'll see how that plays out, whether that advantage, getting 10 first is going to be worth it. The blue team has that camp pushing, and it's really getting some good value because it seems like the red team is just ignoring it. The blue team goes for the bottom camp as well. Shoke ETC here is very low health. He makes it out with about 390 health. And now Tassadar is killing that siege camp, but not before it got this bottom tower in the mid lane. Alright, looks like the blue team is now going for their own siege camp, now that it's up. But it is being contested by all 5 members of the red team. The blue team 5 are also here, but they're sort of split with Sonya on one side and everybody else on the other. That Tassadar wall prevented them from really engaging, and Sonya was sort of chased off. She's going back top lane to clear. Nope, she decided to join the team again. There's a little bit of a push top, and it looks like those little minions are going to get that gate. Everybody's just sort of lurking right now. Ragnaros is pushing bottom lane, while Sonya is pushing top. It does not look like the... Nice camp steal. Knight says, nice camp steal. Indeed. Oh no, Ragnaros is getting ganked. But it looks like in return, Sonya will be ganked. The 4-man here went top while the blue team's 4-man went bot. Alright, so that was 1 for 1. But during that time, the blue team got an early start on the Infernal Shrine. We will see whether they're able to complete that before the red team can contest it. I mean, they're pretty far ahead. They're already at 30, 33. So I don't think the red team is going to get here in time to really do anything about it. And there it goes, maybe? Yes, 1 more minion. There we go. The blue team does have to respond to that top camp though, because that camp is very strong. Like specifically, that could take out the entire fort, both of those towers, without breaking a sweat. Like they need to respond to that. So Sonya is doing that. Ragnaros sends his wave bot, as expected, and he takes command of that fort to minimize any damage that happens to it. And he does that quite successfully because that fort did not take almost any damage from this what's it called? Punisher, yeah. Looks like the the red team is looking for a fight since they are up a talent here, but they are taking too much damage. So they back off. Now it's time for them to take their camp. The blue team on the other side seems to be heading towards the bottom camp. Or maybe it's just a Lunara. Yeah, her team is joining her to pick that up. The red team might invade. It's going to be interesting. Will they get there in time? I don't think they get there in time. There we go. But there might still be a fight. It is 5v4 right now. The blue team, Church of Murky. Ooh, that's a really nice ETC mosh. Wow. And they managed to get 2 kills in that. That was a great job by Shock. And of course they're going to use that advantage that they just got by pushing that bottom fort. Sonya goes to mid lane to deal with the siege camp there, and Ragnaros from the red team is still pushing top. He's going to be able to get that tower, and I wonder if he can push further before the rest of the... Nope. He sees the writing on the wall. Sonya is coming, so he takes a safe route and backs away. The blue team did manage to get that bottom fort, and now they're grabbing their own siege camp. ETC is a little far out here by himself, so he is likely to take some damage at least. They were not able to really lock him down there, so he slid away. They are grabbing their bruiser camp up top. Church of Murky is doing pretty well this game. It looks like a more even game so far. My coffee is delicious. Red team manages to defend that top fort, although it does not have much health left. So if I'm guessing, I would say the blue team is likely to kill that with this next shrine, or maybe instead they go get the mid fort, which they do, and now it is dead. Great job from the blue team's side, where they did the unexpected there and go for the mid one instead of the top one. They are taking too much damage right now, though. That Sonya is dead, unfortunately. Vala secures that kill for the red team, doing a good job there. Blue team seems to be wanting to try an ambush here, but the red team has already moved on to top. They are doing something more interesting. They're going for that to steal that camp, that bruiser camp from the red team, while the red team is just focused on this top fort. There's not really much that they can do to defend that top fort anyway, given that the Punisher is likely going to be the red team's, because they are down Sonya, so it's 5v4, they can't really contest it, so they're getting as much advantage as they can by getting those bruisers, which will do some damage to the keep, and they will kill that fort. There we go. So that was a good compromise, I guess, on the blue team's part, where they recognized that there was an issue that they could not fight 5v4, and instead they made a very smart decision. They got a camp that's now doing damage to close to the keep. It might be able to actually do some damage on those towers, and they got it a fort out of it. Alright, I am guessing ETC is going to be, yes, there we go, baiting that Punisher forward. Sonya lightly engaging with the enemy team. She's a little far off from her team, but it looks like the blue team is focused on doing more damage to the red team than to the Punisher. Red team withdraws. They got a little bit of value here. I mean, well, actually it's quite a good amount of value. That wall is completely gone, and that keep has taken some damage. Let's see what that Merc camp did. Not much, unfortunately. It only got a tiny bit of this tower, so not as well as the blue team had hoped, probably. Red team is now focused on getting their camp. Blue team has just gotten theirs, so it's an even match there. But here comes the interesting part. This has already happened before in the map, where the red team invades, but they're still too late, just like last time. Blue team is standing here in a bush to see if they can capture anyone. But the red team took the safe rotation, so no progress there. I apologize, the game is a little laggy right now, in case that seemed choppy. Ooh, Ragnaros is caught out, and he's dead. He was a little far forward there, considering that the blue team was all up and just, looking for a kill. So now the blue team will likely push this keep wall, at least get some progress on it, since they've got the numbers advantage, and they've got a minion wave. And the Tassadar ult is out, catches Sonya, but she manages to spin to win. Get some health back, and she's backing off before she takes too much damage. That KT sort of misses the target, unfortunately, there, so but it does manage to zone them, the red team, so they back out. Blue team has gone back to their 4-1 split, which means if the red team took this, it would be a rather even fight. And ETC is going forward here. The red team now has all 5 up. If they engage hard right now on the blue team, like somewhere where that KT was when he was out there, that would have been a great opportunity for them. They are almost 20 though, so now the red team has the storm tier advantage. So this next round will be the most interesting one. Ragnaros sends another wave down mid. And the fight has started, 20 versus 19. This is not a great fight for the blue team to take, except that their ETC is a pro. He gets that really great mosh and is able to catch 2 of them in it. So 2 of the red team die, make that 3 to the 1 who died on the blue team. So that was a really great engagement and very risky. And you know what they say, that if you're down, you need to take risks. If you're up, you should not take any unnecessary risks. You should play safe. So that's what the blue team did here, taking a 19 versus 20 fight, and it caught them up. They probably don't need to all be on that shrine, so I'm surprised they're not going more aggressively for camps. For the bottom one, looks like Redbeard is doing that job for them on Sonya. Ooh, and ETC just picked his 20. I wonder why he was holding it so long. If you're wondering what the taunts are, that's what it looks like right now. The blue team is getting that camp really quickly before the Punisher gets to the keep. Provide it some support. Red team has to also deal with the Mercs mid and the Mercs top, which seem to have been completely bypassed by their Mercs. Like, their red Mercs just kept going and ignored these guys, who can very well get a lot of progress here if not dealt with. Ragnaros, of course, uses his his trait, and sends out a wave to do some damage. It is a 5v5 right now, with Sonya taking quite a bit of damage. But that blow up with the Kel'Thas and the Lunara combo, that looks very good for the blue team. This might very well be the end if they can secure a couple more kills. Punisher is doing some damage to the shield of the core. Oh no, Sonya. Yes, she's saved by Anna. The red team is doing their best to defend right here. They managed to kill that Punisher, but it is too late. Too little, too late. Well, the good news is now it is the score is 1-1, so we are going to a third game. Woohoo! Great job by Murky, by Church of Murky here, coming back. That was a really good job. All right. It's looking good. We've got one more match to go. I'm really excited about it. Here, I've got the stats on the... Actually, let me show you the stats. There we go. So, it looks like Kael'thas did quite a bit of damage and was almost matched by Vala on the right team. So, it's not really that the damage itself is what, you know, made the blue team win, but probably the targets of the damage. Because not all damage is equal, you know, like a character like Nazeebo, for example, he can spread his damage everywhere. Juggerop chose first pick, so as the losing team, they get to say either first pick or map, and they chose first pick. Which means, for the third time, Church of Murky gets to choose the map. I'm not sure yet what the map will be. This game was pretty light on kills. I mean, 8 versus 3 in a 19-minute game. That's pretty light. You know, Vala secured a lot of those kills. Actually, she secured all the kills from the red team, while it was a little more spread over on the Church of Murky side. Yeah, Crush, I'm pretty lucky. I'm so glad. This is my Sonia. She is awesome. Mime is messaging me. He thinks I'm currently doing it. Mime. Looks like the next one is a Sky Temple. Both teams have joined, and now we wait. As per the first two games, Full Metal Jacket has chosen first pick, so they will get to make the first pick, first ban, and Team 1, which is Church of Murky, prefers to pick the map. They have chosen, so far, Volskaya Foundry, then Infernal Shrines, and now they've chosen Sky Temple. I'm so lucky I got a third game. This is great. Not a domination. Just waiting on Church of Murky to get ready. There we go, and it starts. Let me switch to draft mode. This is starting to look very familiar. Greymane as first ban. I wonder if they're going to go again Deathwing as second ban. I think Sylvanas is probably not going to be their third ban here, but we'll see. Huh. So this time they're taking away the Vala instead of the Blaze Imperious combo. They're taking away that Vala from the red team. Now we've got our second bans. Deathwing again. Well, it looks like Full Metal Jacket has stuck to a script so far in terms of their drafting and their bans. But Church of Murky is adjusting based on what Full Metal Jacket is taking. I'm guessing this will be another Zul ban. Crush really wants to see a Cho'Gall game. And yes, Zul is banned.
This realm needs me.
Li Ming is picked up by the red team, Full Metal Jacket. She's been a familiar pick. She was picked in the first game by them as well, but I'm not sure if she was in the last game. I don't think she was. It was Vala, Ragnaros, and Tassadar. Yeah, so no Ming last game. But they got her this time. Ah, Sylvanas and Blaze. So instead of banning Blaze, they just took him because, you know, of course, the right team could only have one first pick. So that was a good opportunity for them to, you know, deny the Full Metal Jackets their Blaze by taking it themselves. I don't think this is going to be a Cho'Gall game. Gall is another mage. There we go, Falstad. Falstad is pretty good on this map since he can move from shrine to shrine pretty quickly with his fly, global. And now it's time for third bans. If I'm guessing, I would say they'll probably take out Imperious. Because the red team does play that very well. Imperious. Nope, they took out the Johanna instead. That gives room for the red team to take that Imperious along with another tank that has some lockdown. Maybe like a Muradin with a stun or a Diablo. Which will make that blow-up comp fairly like feasible again. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream, and we are currently watching Game 3 of 3 between Full Metal Jackets on the right side and Church of Murky on the left side. You can call them Team 1 and Team 2, so Church of Murky is Team 1, blue team, and Full Metal Jacket is Team 2 or red team. Looks like they went for an ETC Kel'Thuzad. That can be very devastating. That, like, if an ETC lands his Moshes, which he did very well last game, Kel'Thuzad can really wipe out a team. So we'll see how this goes. Ah, there we go. Anubarak Imperious. Good combo as well there. Wonder who the bruiser will be. Another Urel or maybe a Sonya? Oh, sorry. They already have Blaze and ETC. I completely forgot about that. They took Uther. Ooh, holy stuns. That's going to be a lot of stuns. I mean, Uther is now considered almost like another bruiser. He's very tanky. And the game starts in 5. I'm super excited to see who's going to win this one. So if you're not familiar with the NGS scoring, since this matchup has not been a domination, so not 0-2 or 2-0, that means the winning team is going to get 2 points only instead of 3, and the losing team will get 1 point instead of 0. So if you lose in a domination, you get 0 points, and the other team gets 3, as if they've won all 3 games. Which I guess, you know, in a way, they've won 2, so there's really no point in playing a third. But some people still do it, you know, for the fans who are watching.
Ceaseless battle, if you wish to live, that is.
I don't know why it tells you that you'll get a boost when you get no XP for playing custom games. Looks like Falstad went for that bribe.
10 seconds.
So I'll be looking forward to seeing him stealing a lot of camps.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ming went for the faster teleports. It also makes magic missiles hurt a lot more. Neither team is going for the vision up top. Sylvanas using her E to check that bush, and Kel'Thuzad also checking the other bush. But the red team has been hanging back, with Imperius going directly top, and allowing the blue team to just clear that wave really fast while they wait behind their fort walls. Hi, Bardic Black, Mime. How's it going? You think ETC is going to go stage dive? That's what you're saying. I mean, it would be pretty hard to pull off a mosh with, you know, like if Falstad goes Gust and Ming goes Wave of Force and Imperius already has like his stun. Nubarak with his also that stun, what's that called? I don't know. I don't play a Nubarak, but you know, the one that goes on the line. So yeah, it would be unlikely for ETC to pick mosh, I guess. It'd be quite a miracle if you can catch all 4 of those people in one mosh. Red team is already on the camps. You know, this whole series, they have been on their camps much faster than the blue team has. Whether that's a good thing is debatable, because sometimes, you know, if you take it too soon, and like right now they took it pretty early, and the shrines are not up yet, so, or the temples aren't up yet, so, you know, ooh, red team is stealing this one too. Oh wow. They tend to like to invade the other team's camps, and with that and one pull, they managed to do it safely. That was impressive. So now they don't have to worry about the fact that they got their camp too soon, because, you know, Shrine is coming up, or Temple's coming up soon, but the blue team has no minions, or no siege camps pushing. They're a bit wasted, like in terms of the red side's siege camp didn't, I guess, do very much. Imperius is backing out, and Falstad's taking his place top, while Ming and Anduin cap this bruiser camp, just in time for the temple. Bottom lane is being pushed pretty hard by the blue team. They're getting a lot of value because there's nobody to respond down there. And they still have some time before they have to get to one of the temples. So they managed to get that wall and almost that tower, that top tower. Well, not the entire wall. So they got the gate and one of the bottom tower, which puts them in a good position for when the temple is bottom, which is the next round. But unfortunately gave the red team an opportunity to take both temples, at least for the first few. So he didn't get very far, but still, that's a lot of his shots. The red team is congregating in the top lane, trying to get that fort, helping along their temple. So now the temple is hitting the fort directly instead of the walls, or the well. Imperius is bottom, soaking, so that's a positive for the red team, getting more XP than the blue team is getting. He goes mid again, but there's too many of them. He really has to beware. The red team manages to push in, complete that fort. So that's a lot of value for a reverse temple. Souza trying to deny them vision here. Blue team is pretty much all bottom lane, and they're going to try to push this fort. Red team is coming for them though, so it will be interesting. Sylvanas with these silence on the fort, so her trade. She's got that fort locked down, not doing any damage. Now the team engages. They're both on the same talent tier, so nobody has a significant advantage. Jabberab is really low though, so yeah, he backs away. They try to defend a little more safely. Instead of this corridor there at their fort. The red team has a slight advantage in XP, so that likely means they might reach 10 first. And if they... Oh no! They lost that advantage by Falstad dying. Okay. Anduin pull. Really saved Imperius there. There is a risk that the red team is going to leave now, and the blue team will just go ahead and take that boss. But it doesn't look like the blue team is going there. ETC is up top, trying to soak those minion waves that are pushed quite far in. The red team is still doing really well. They've lost none of their forts, even though this one, doesn't have very much. But that well is still up, which means for this next temple fight, the red team will have something to go back to sip. Red team is already here, ready on the point. Nubrak and Imperius standing in that bush, trying to zone. Blue team does not seem to be too worried about it. Looks like they are trying to soak 10, and then ETC, if he goes stage dive, can just combat immediately. But I don't think they get it in time. Oh no, here comes the blaze. And the red team backs out. They recognize that the 10s are here, and they've got Falstad top responding to that Merc camp. So they give up the last part. But that's still not a lot of value for the blue team, because they gave up a lot of those shots.
The magic of the temple sleeps until I choose otherwise.
Blue team is really pushing for that bottom fort. I mean, they've got Sylvanas, so it's entirely reasonable for them to push and kill it, because it doesn't have much left. And of course, Redbeard comes in with that stage dive. Nice. Falstad follows him quickly. Combustion goes out, and it does a really big chunk of damage to the red team. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage. So Blaze goes in, even though there's a fort there. They are getting pretty low, and Anubrak is dead. Good kill by Blaze. Actually, Blaze killed all three of them. Falstad, Anubrak, and Anduin, it looks like. Ming is going bot to clear some minions. Of course, her wave clear is pretty terrible. She used her ult there. Since it's a very short cooldown, I mean it's only 30 seconds, so it was pretty easy for her to use it, and it'll be back up before they try to fight again. Now the blue team is going for boss, and the red team just discovered that. I was looking for that gust, but it did not come. Looks like the red team will just have to defend that. Blue team should be defending this top lane as well if they notice it, because otherwise they're going to lose a lot. They already lost one of the towers. They're about to lose the second one. I don't think anybody can kill those mercs before that happens. So that's the entire wall here gone for the blue team. Whereas the red team is already on that boss. I don't think that boss is going to be able to get that entire wall. He will go down before that. He didn't even get one of the towers. So that's great defense from the red team. Blue team did still manage to get a middle fort, though, for their efforts. By distracting the red team, the red team had to respond to that boss. In the bottom lane, we've got red team siege camp pushing. I'm guessing that you know there will be a response to it because there is a temple in the bottom lane. So somebody's got to go there, unless the blue team decides to just give it. Red team is deciding to invade this siege camp, a brave move. They really do love invading the other team's camps. So if I were blue team, I would be always on the lookout for that, because it happens a lot. Okay, well that gust was not necessarily all that useful, but it did get them off the point, and the mercs were captured and killed almost instantly. Thank you, Bird. I appreciate that. Red team seems to be waiting for the blue team to come in, and that Imperius will likely... Oh no, they backed out. Yes. Well, which is a good decision, because they don't have their 13s yet. Blue team is almost, you know, 3/4 of a level ahead. Now that the red team does have their 13s, they're ready to engage. Ooh, that Kel'Thuzad damage on Falstad. But it is not enough to kill Falstad yet. Instead, the blue team, all very low, still managed to get a kill from the red team. Ming is dead. Now it's really up to Falstad to see if he can do any more damage. Oh no! Oh, that's a good ult by Uther. He saved himself. I mean, people say it's selfish when you use your, like, the healer uses that kind of ult on themselves, but I think staying alive is the most important thing. So, you know, if you're a healer, to save your team, so you're still doing it to save your team. Blue team is getting the rest of that bottom temple, no problem. Red team would likely be going for their siege camp, bruiser camp up here. I'm almost surprised that they aren't, I don't know, trying to go to the other team's camp and, like, stand in that bush, you know, like the bush right outside. Like here. They tend to play pretty aggressively with regards to camps. Full Metal Jacket. Okay, that bruiser camp is gone to the blue team. And the red team's already gotten their siege camp as well. This one should be up soon. Nope, a whole minute. Or 50 seconds still left before that one is up. It's a lot of time. So blue team is just clearing that top lane to give a chance for their bruisers to push forward to the keep. I expect the red team to go up there very soon. The siege camp bottom is still really far away from the keep, so blue team can afford to stay up here, especially with the Sylvanas who can disable these towers. Alright. Looks like Kel'Thuzad was caught in a very bad position, but he managed to get out. That was impressive. Blaze got, what's that called? The cocooned. Yes, cocooned. Red team's doing a pretty great job at defending this. They didn't lose too much to that camp. And blue team heads off, likely to defend that mid fort, and perhaps also get this camp right here.
They shall bask in my glory.
Yep, Kel'Thuzad goes for that camp, while Sylvanas will clear the bottom camp that's pushing against their keep. See, that camp didn't get, like, even though they pushed all the way top, she could still kill it before it got to the keep, because it was so far out. The lane was pushed pretty far out, so good for them. Now have a fight brewing here. Got all 5 of the blue team at mid, and we've got 4 of the red team. So it would be pretty risky for them to try to invade this. No, Falstad comes to join his team. That way, if they get kills, it's probably better for them than just trading. It is fine. It is fine and completely good to trade when you are up structures. But the red team is not up structures compared to the blue team. The blue team has more structures. So they probably do not want to trade, because that is not good enough. Ooh, but the red team loses their Falstad, unfortunately. Your Anubarak is also very low, likely to die if he goes back in. But they still got those final shots, so that was a good play by the red team, even though they did lose Falstad. I wonder why neither team is going top. Ah, the red team thinks that the blue team will go top, so they go for the boss, but the blue team is right here. Mostly at least. Oh no, and the boss kills Anubarak. Imperius is stuck out here as well by himself against 3 people, while Li Ming had to back to defend that bottom keep. Sylvanas is taking this opportunity to grab this siege camp for free. This late in the game, 1 kill really just makes a huge difference. Like, 4v5 is no joke when you're almost at level 20. But Li Ming and Falstad managed to clear that camp very fast. Their keeps have taken a lot of damage though, and the blue team looks like they were going for the kill on that middle keep. Uther uses his ult on Sylvanas, which saves her life, and she's able to put a lot of damage into the red team. Yeah, look at that Sylvanas damage. She's the highest on her team. I wonder if the blue team is going to go for this boss. They are up 5, and the red team only has 3 people with all keeps going down. This is starting to look really good for Church of Murky. And of course they can just take that camp in like 2 seconds. Blue team has gotten to their 20s, and it looks like we've got Divine Protection used here by Uther, taken by Uther. Withering Barrage by Sylvanas. Got Might of the Scourge on Kel'Thuzad. Flash Fire on Blaze, and ETC took Storm Shield for his team. The red team has a Merc camp pushing top, but really it doesn't look like the blue team needs to worry about that at all. Like, they can just push here, and if they manage to get a kill, they will be able to end. Boss is almost dead though, and it looks like the blue team might be backing off. Alright, so the blue team had to back off. They decided not to go for the core there. It was a bit risky because the boss took a lot of damage before it managed to get to core. So, let's see what these mercs are doing top. Are they going to be able to get that fort before anybody responds? I don't think they will. They might get some damage in, but somebody's going back to respond. There we go. Blaze here managed to get out without getting caught by the red team, because that would have been pretty bad. A good chance for the red team to make a comeback. The red team's core is already at 90%. It's taken some permanent damage. Imperius was a little bit too far by himself there, like engaging on Kel'Thuzad. Like, that would have been a good engage if his team was with him, but the team was not right. It was not quite there. And it's very exciting. Oh, Juggerop goes down. Nope, he's still surviving. Oh no, he dies. Yeah, I think that's the end of game. And good games, everyone. The Church of Murky looks like it made a really good comeback. They lost the first game, but they've won the second game, and I believe they're winning this one right now. GG's. Well played. Both teams tried really hard, and I think we saw that blue team denying the red team that Blaze and that combo that they were so used to worked out really well for them. So yay! we've got our matches. We've got 2 points that are going to go to the blue team, Church of Murky, and 1 point will go to Full Meta Jacket. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to link below an NGS caster feedback form. If you could please take a minute to fill it out, I would be very grateful. Thank you. There we go. There we go. It's in the chat. If you can click that link and fill it out, I would really appreciate it. It's just a way to get better. This is my very first cast of an NGS game, or really any tournament style game. So, whew, hopefully I did an okay job and everybody's happy. Both teams played really well, and I'm very excited because those were really fun games to watch and to cast. So I'll see you guys with my next cast. Thank you, and bye.